All right, so I decided I would stream this useless race. Uh, Only 10 people showed up, so possibly the next race will be the big one. It's supposed to be the North American Strength of Field race. As you can see, that is not it. I'm sorry, I have upper respiratory infections, so I sound a little bit different than usual, but I'm trying to get through this. Um, don't know that I'll actually stream this whole race, but it might be a good opportunity just to kind of go through what happens, you know, when you're in a race like this where you know that you're going to be way out in front. And, how do you manage it? How do you stay focused? Ran one last night. It was very similar. I think there was 4 HPDs in that one. And I just kind of messed around for the whole race. Tried to avoid some of the things that have befallen me in the past where I just wrecked the car with 3 minutes to go or something out of nowhere. But this is my first time racing Silverstone with the medium downforce setup since they changed the downforce settings. So some of you guys who are running some of my older setups, the downforce is not right anymore. Some of the tracks that were always low downforce have become medium downforce bias tracks. This one in particular, and Sebring. Never thought I would see that, but when you look at Road America, it's not a big gap between medium and high downforce. I'm a little bit quicker in high downforce and low downforce. I'm a little bit quicker in low downforce there than I am in medium, but the gap is nowhere what it used to be. Now, I still maintain that if you can be within a half a second a lap in low downforce, that's the downforce you need to race in. Do not use the training wheels. That's what medium downforce is if low downforce is viable. If it's a track where you can use either or and you use medium downforce, you're using training wheels. And you're not going to outrace somebody who's using low downforce that's similar speed to you because they're going to pass you on the straightaways. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So you have to train yourself to use the lower downforce because you will ultimately be faster that way. One, you're going to use less fuel, and you should have less tire wear unless you just do a whole lot of sliding. But I get less tire wear with low downforce than I do medium. With medium, by the end of this race, my tires are completely shot. With low prior, I could go the full race, and the tires, yeah, they would fall off, but nothing like what they're doing right now. The car is borderline undrivable.
All right, there's the checkered flag.
Yeah, qualifying kind of botched it, but as you see, it doesn't really matter. So, I'll go ahead and give you a look through my setup real quick. I'm not going to stick on them long because you can always pause it and go back to it. Gear ratio is probably being my most important, but I also need to check to make sure I have. There we go. Okay. Get my gloves back on. Yes, I do wear gloves. As I've said in the past, I'm not ruining my Alcantara wheels just to be cool enough not to use gloves. Frederick, that's not a good idea. Just go. People that are faster will pass you on their own time. I don't like that. It's not safe when people do that.
green. Line up
Kind
to
of
the
hope both
right
these guys
side.
wreck
Pit
out
road is
fucking illegally.
closed.
Oh no! Aha, I missed the start. I didn't change. That was my qual setup I showed you guys. Here's my race setup. Alright. Ah, I gotta start from the pits.
Well, that's the challenge that you need.
Yeah, there they all go. So, got a little bit of time here.
Yeah, that's what I should have done.
What happened to Haskins? Oh, he's flashing. Yeah, Frederick, you were flashing. I don't think he saw you. I don't think he meant to do that. Yeah, it sucks to miss a start, but oh well. Yeah, I'm looking at the replay, man. You were invisible when the contact happened.
So I'm not quite sure, but John, since you're not starting in the grid, am I supposed to be taking pole? Because it keeps telling me stay behind the pace car.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, thanks.
Well, it's a good thing there's not any fast guys in here, because that would just completely throw me out of this race. So I do have a video review of the CSL Elite wheel and pedals coming out. Billy Smith and I shot the video a couple weeks ago. Still working on the editing and everything. It's going to be terrible. Just telling you guys. I never step out from behind the camera or the microphone, so I'm not used to doing that. It's our first attempt at it. The lighting is going to be awful, I'm sure. It's going to be yellow probably. I didn't have dedicated lighting for it. But I'll give you my honest opinion on the equipment, as well as comparing it against the Thrustmaster TX. And we did have a driver come over who uses the Logitech wheel and pedals, and had him drive it and do a comparison. And he has already ordered a set of the CSL Elite pedals and wheel now because he liked it. But that's a more relevant comparison. You know, somebody who drives something like that. Like with me using the OSW and Billy using the CSW V2, trying to compare the Elite to those, our views are a little bit skewed. So you get kind of and he's a rookie driver too. So you get kind of a rookie's, viewpoint. It's pretty good. There's Lionel Duprat, the Frenchman, so you have to kind of battle through his French accent. But Lionel's a pretty experienced racer otherwise. Not, he's a rookie to iRacing, but he knows what he's doing. But it will likely, Billy and I are thinking about, and I get your feedback on this if anybody's actually watching this nonsense tonight. We're probably going to start doing a few more reviews. I don't have any ideas or aspirations of being anything like, the Sim Pit or Inside Sim Racing for sure. Darren Ganji's outfit is pretty professional in how they do things. So that's not what we're trying to do, but just trying to offer my opinion and viewpoint on some of the equipment and some of the stuff. Maybe we'll do some reviews on certain cars in iRacing.
Car right.
But
Clear.
you know, it's not going to be a regular thing. And I do promise to get maybe a little bit better filming equipment for it. Well, I have a decent camera, just need lighting. Well, this Aston Martin lost the back end.
Right side. Still there. Hold your line. Clear.
Pepsi Augusta. I haven't seen him in a couple of years, it seems like. Not sure where he's
Left
been.
side.
Hello, Billy. There's my
Clear.
Autobahn Motorsports teammate. Youssef, he's a new guy to the series, just got his license, and he seems to be so far a pretty decent driver, pretty respectable to the other classes, which is what we want. However, just to address the HPD issue, I've noticed in the forums it's popular to start dogpiling on HPDs again. The GT drivers, a lot of them, are the cause of the problem. So when you have new HPD drivers and the GT drivers are doing the stop at the apex to let the HPD go thing, that trains them to dive bomb, because it makes them expect GT drivers to do that because that's all they're seeing so far. So GT guys, please just drive as fast as you possibly can and make us have to pass you with speed on a track. If you do that, you'll teach the HPDs good habits. Is he gonna go defensive?
1 minute 29.538. You're in fifth.
Well, I don't know what he's doing, but
Car right.
that was
Clear on the
weird.
right.
All right, Pepst. The last thing I want is somebody to try to let me go. Believe me, if I can pass, I will. All right? And if I can't, then I shouldn't. There's no need to let me go. I don't ever fault anybody for me not being able to pass them. All right, Michael was in the race last night. He's a guy trying to get used to the car, apparently. Looked pretty obvious. And we're at that point of the season where you get a lot of new guys in the car who just got the license for it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I always hear everyone say, oh, they need to drive this and they need to drive that. Well, I've never raced the Ford GT. I've never raced the Aston Martin. Well, okay, I lied. I've raced the Aston Martin and the Corvette, but not before I raced the HPD. If you're a prototype driver, you're a prototype driver. You don't have to drive the other cars.
207. You're in fourth position.
Some of the worst HPD drivers I've seen drove the other cars, extensively. Some of the best HPD drivers I've seen never drove anything but the HPD. So you can be any license level, any experience level. If you understand the car and understand how not to be a dick on the track, then you're fine.
Stay on the left. Clear on the right.
So the arm's definitely feeling a little better than it was for the Le Mans League race, but I also had, I think, run too many practice laps that day. It does start to get a little bit of a sting to it after several laps, but it's not as bad.
1 minute 28.825. You're now in third.
So if we can continue to get better, continue to improve, then everything will be great. So one of my problems is I'm still not quite sure how to drive this car in a low down or in a medium downforce setup. I'm so used to low downforce. I don't think I take full advantage of the braking ability in medium. Nice. Probably shouldn't have turned down the traction control unless I was prepared to drive it like I turned down the traction control. So I get to play this game all over again. To guess which line he's going to run the game. Looks like he's using high downforce.
36.566.
Yep, if I had to guess, I'd say high downforce.
Right side.
Excuse me, guys. Sorry to do that.
Keep to the left. Clear on the right.
Ah, I'm now 12 seconds behind Frederick. It's awesome. So it's like I need to really pay attention and stop making mistakes. Surprised at Youssef though. I was thinking he might have a chance to run up front, but apparently Frederick has either a little bit more pace or Youssef ran off track.
One minute 29.82. You're back in third. Keep hustling.
Anyway, back on the CSL Elite, I like the pedals. And the pedals are invertible. You can mount them inverted. And they feel good, very progressive feel to them. Jeez. Something doesn't feel right. A very, very progressive feel to them. You can, you have a direct connection with that load cell. So I found the pedals to be really good. They're not made of the same materials as the V3s, the Club Sport V3s, but I dare to say they function better or as good. Now, okay, I have the brake performance kit that Fanatic just came out with on my V3s, and now they feel good. They feel like I expected to. Prior to that, I would definitely say the CSL Elites were better. Now, for the price, the CSL Elites are definitely better.
28.97.
because they're quite a bit less than the Club Sport V3s. Well, they don't look as nice. They're not made out of as nice of materials, but they use the same resolution in their load cell. So there's not really much you can do better than that. Jeez, why do I keep running wide there? It's like I've lost my left side downforce. There's second place.
Absolutely boring race, but at least I know I'm sorted for Silverstone for Autobahn.
That's why I called it a dress rehearsal. I think the next race will probably have a lot more people in it. It usually does, but I thought I read somewhere where they were trying to migrate to this time slot.
1 minute 28.667.
Didn't hit that right. Lost quite a bit of time.
When it's this hot, is picking tires better?
Car right. Stay on the left. Clear.
Oh shit! Sorry, Youssef.
Car on your left.
Sorry, Youssef. Go ahead and
Clear.
take that back. I didn't mean to shoulder you like that. Oh. Sorry, Youssef. I didn't mean to shoulder you like that.
1 minute 30.827.
I wasn't going to take the position that way, so. That was a little bit of rough driving for me. I knew that he was going to be earlier on the brakes right there than I was, and so I took that opportunity to shoot the gap, but I thought I cleared him before I did. This is going to be fun. This Ford
Car on
GT is
your
going to
left.
like this.
You're in the middle. 3 wide. Clear on the right. 2 wide. Still there. Hold your line. Clear.
That's something about Historic. You can pretty much run wherever you want on this thing and be in the same position.
1 minute 29.761. Okay, you're in second.
Yeah, I messed that whole lap up right there on the last 2 turns, which I usually do. I really struggle with that section.
1 minute 28.579.
If I could somehow figure out how to nail the last 2 turns, I'd probably have decent laps here. That's my braking marker. I forgot the downshift. That's not good for the tires.
One minute 29.4.
But now we're on the same straightaway with him. I think I'm getting through Maggots and Beckett's quite a bit quicker than he is. Ooh, almost went. That's one thing I do like about this OSW. You can really feel when this car is losing it and catch it. Even with the V2, I could feel the slides, and I was worlds better at catching them than I was any other time before. But stuff that I lost routinely, like earlier when I caught that curb and thought, ooh, I almost lost that. No question in the V2, I would have lost it right there. I'm not any faster. I venture to say I'm a little slower because I'm still trying to, recondition my arm to doing this. But I feel a lot more confident in what's going on. The truth be told, one lap speed, I haven't been any different than when I was using a G27. Where I noticed the difference with like the TX and then the Club Sport V2 was over the distance of a race. I was better. That's yet to be seen with the OSW because I haven't had any real experience with it yet as far as long term in a race. But I do feel more confident with it.
Right side. Still there. Clear. One minute 29.181.
In practice, we had an overcast sky, Nice cool track running, 125s. You get here in the race and the track is boiling.
One minute 28.303.
Well, finally getting up here with Frederick. I don't expect him to move over and give me this position. I'm thinking he's had it for long enough in the race now, 16 laps plus. It'll be 17 by the time I catch him. I think he might be used to holding it, so maybe he'll fight a little bit. So maybe we'll get into the art of the pass a little bit here. Is what I lack in outright speed, I do make up for it. Ability to set up a pass.
One minute 28.351.
I had to pedal a little bit there. Not ideal, but I still got to do fairly decent. Pretty slow that time through Maggots and Beckets. He's kind of had a bad entry. It kind of threw the whole thing off. He's not going to be the easiest to pass, I'm betting, if he decides to fight, because he's able to put together a decent pace in certain sections. It seems to be in the places that I like to pass that he's quick. And that's job one when you're wanting to pass someone, is you have to figure out where they're not fast. So the next thing is you want to figure out how you stack up against them in your best spots on the track.
1 minute 28.411.
Everybody has that place on the track where they feel like Superman. They feel like they can put the car anywhere they want. So you want to size them up there first and foremost, because that's playing to your strengths. I'm always a firm believer in playing to my strengths and not the weakness of others.
The next car's the leader.
Oh, he lost it. You know what? I'm going to let him go. Go ahead, man. Take it back. So then if you come to the conclusion that your strongest spot is also his, then you start looking for his weak spot. You start sizing up you know, how you are in his spots where he's not very strong. Then you have to determine, is that a good place to try to pass?
Right side. Clear.
He lost it a little bit there. Almost ran in the back of him. Luckily I didn't. I noticed it in time. See, I know that's a weak spot for me, so I'm not even worried about trying to pass him there. The only thing I'm doing in that section is just noticing,
1 minute,
you know,
32.871.
my line, and if I'm running off, if I'm going to run off the track. I'm just trying. That's all I'm trying to pay attention to there. Noticing my positioning. Now here, I'm watching for his exit. How bad is he through here? Okay, I know that I'm just going to drive by him because he's obviously in high downforce. And he has a little damage.
Stay on the right, clear.
By the way, I never received the yellow flag there.
Say again? Yeah, he's obviously on high downforce.
1 minute, 29.4. You're in first.
Oh, come on, John. There we go. A little drifting through the last couple corners. I think I'm just going to go ahead and change tires.
1 minute, 29.236.
high downforce is doing good through there.
1 minute 29.505.
Oh! That was no good. Oh, I'm going too fast. I got an off track. Oh well.
One minute 36.09.
Turn the traction control down a little bit further. Maybe help with the rotation mid-corner so I don't have to use so much steering input on the exit. That's what got me there. Had too much steering input because the car was understeering real bad. So I'm going to turn down the traction control. Seems counterintuitive to combat a spin, but in reality it'll help the car rotate a little quicker when I get back on the throttle, so I'm not fighting it all the way to the edge like that. So like right there I had a little slide and it lifted and still started gaining time because I wasn't losing as much engine power. So that's the fastest I've come through that section yet. I'm going to turn the traction control down a little bit.
1 minute 29.04. You have about 5 laps of fuel left.
I'm thinking Frederick's doing a pretty good job of getting better as this race goes on.
1 minute 28.529.
Because earlier in the race I was taking time out of him in chunks, and now not so much. 22 minutes
1
left.
minute 28.683.
Frederick has dominated the race to this point. Jesus, another 1X. Oh well.
One minute 28.323. Car on your left. You got about 2 laps of fuel. The next car's the leader. One minute 28.982.
I should have passed him.
The leader's pitting now.
I really should have passed you on that entrance into the pit there. I'm gonna go ahead and change my tires. This is gonna be interesting. Trying to get out of this pit stall. put in more fuel than necessary too. I forgot to adjust that. We'll pass him down the straightaway here.
Right side. Stay on the left. Clear on the right.
Oh, car's turning much sharper. That 0.7 seconds of damage must have been a splitter. Yep, the car is turning much quicker. I must have nicked a curb just right. Yeah, it feels much sharper. Excuse me. Sorry. Damn it. I should have muted that. I wasn't expecting it.
2 minutes 14.661. You're back in the lead.
Yeah, a lot more front end downforce. It's making all of that more predictable. So this is going to be my fastest lap time of the race by almost a full second. 0.91.
1 minute 27.39.
Oh! That didn't help my cause any.
John, there's a little bit of rear wing damage.
Yep, thanks, Mark. I can feel it for sure. It's sliding there when I'm trying to turn now.
Yeah, got the diffuser and the wing. Only a little bit.
Yeah, visually it's a little bit, but it's a lot because the car's way slow down the straightaway.
Yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, car's undrivable. I'm gonna have to fix it. Well, so much for focusing and running a good race at the end. $28 seconds worth of damage. That's not a place I... Well, you know what? Let me clean my windscreen, or my face shield. I'll tear off. Boom. There it goes. That's not a spot I normally lose a car, so I just kind of got a little bit of false confidence there. Then there was no way to keep going because the car was undrivable.
Two minutes 15.065.
It's still slow, even with the repairs. But at least it's drivable. That's the main thing. Golly. Well, don't listen to anything I say, obviously, because I can't drive. Sometimes it just bees that way.
One minute 30.306.
Just a bad sign from the beginning.
Car on your left. Stay on the right, clear. One minute 29.343.
There you go. Oh, no chance of catching Yusuf. 32 seconds. Ain't gonna happen.
Car right.
See that right there? I prefer you do not do. Stop at the top of the braking zone. Just turn in.
1 minute 28.023. One minute 27.899.
Three minutes to go. Oh well, wasn't my race. Jesus, John.
You have about 5 laps of fuel left. 1 minute 33.81.
That's him putting way too much fuel. Oh well. Man, can we get the
1
white flag
minute
already?
28.736. 1 minute 28.738.
Oh well. We'll get them next time, hopefully. And it's not being able to breathe thing doesn't help. Where the hell is Billy going?
Alright, there's the checkered flag. Great job, you did really well.
A good win, Frederick.
John, I'm glad I parked early. I really enjoyed riding along and watching how you drive. It really, I'm an HPD driver. I shouldn't have even tried the Ford GT.
Yeah, so I showed you everything what not to do.
Well, you overstepped a couple times, but God, that was really good driving.
Thank you. Well, you can see a little more detailed inputs and things on my YouTube channel.
Take a look.
Yeah, Frederick, I did only because I knew you were going to, and I didn't want to come out of the pits 20 some odd seconds ahead of you. I wanted to race with you for a little bit, but now I lost it in a spot that I can't remember ever losing it before, and so I wasn't really paying attention, and I drifted out a little bit wide, and I guess I caught the grass or something, but I went around and then bang. You didn't? Well, how come you were in the pits for so long? Did you have a slowdown penalty? I bet. Oh, nice. Yeah, I put in about 3 laps too much. I didn't put in, terrible amount, but still more than I should have. I should have put in about 46 pounds. I think I put in 52 or something like that. But I don't know what happened in the first stint. I damaged my front splitter somehow. I don't remember hitting anything. I must have done it on the curb because I had no front bite after the pit, and I got that damage fixed. My lap times were like almost 2 seconds faster than what I'd run in the opening stint. So I had this car is so sensitive to aero damage. You just have to really be careful touching those curbs. I'm probably going to raise my ride height up a little bit for the next race. And then, of course, I lost it and bashed the back of the car up and couldn't keep it straight after that. But yeah, good race, man. You were driving good. I mean, you had good car control. So yeah, I wish you could, man. It'd be good to see you in the next one. I think the next one's going to be a bigger field, because I think it's going to be the strength of field race, alleged strength of field race. Oh, guys, I'll show you the final results. Frederick Haskins, Yusef Rayan, me,
Good luck,
and
John.
Peps de Guzman.
I'm hoping that people show up for that one.